Hey Sneak Peekers! I'm Emily.
And I'm Gavin.
We hope everyone managed to get through April Fool's yesterday unscathed.
Yeah, I guess it probably should have been obvious that they aren't building a rainforest cafe on the Empire State Building.
Don't worry, you definitely weren't the only person to get pranked. In our first segment tonight, Sydney took the opportunity to fool a few unsuspecting students in a special April Fool's person on the street.
After that, Sydney and AK are here to share their thoughts on the first half of Abbott Elementary's third season.
Next, we have Nolan's South by Southwest interview with the cast and crew of The Greatest Hits, a science fiction rom-com centered around the power of music.
Finally, Emily B., Trinity, and myself will be talking all things Joey as we discuss the season finale of The Bachelor.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
Y'all have intro.
Okay.
We've got a handful of local news stories for you today.
That's right, starting with Austin's very own Alamo Drafthouse.
Deadline reported that the cinema circuit is up for sale.
According to the Deadline, the company pitched the sale to some studios, but there's no word on which studios heard this pitch and how much Alamo Drafthouse is being sold for.
So far, there are no buyers.
Alamo made $134 million at the box office last year, a 25% jump from 2022.
While its numbers are good now, Alamo filed for bankruptcy back in 2021 due to decreased cinema attendance brought on by the pandemic. It bounced back after being sold to Ultimate Capital Partners.
The cinema brand has over 40 theaters across the country, with 13 locations in Texas and 5 here in Austin.
While we wait for updates on the Alamo Drafthouse situation, the Austin Film Society will hold a screening of Richard Linklater's newest film, Hitman, at the Paramount Theater on May 15th.
At the premiere, Hitman star and co-writer Glenn Powell will be inducted into the Texas Film Hall of Fame.
The premiere will be followed by a fundraising gala on May 16th to honor Powell's achievement and raise money for Austin Film Society.
And speaking of events in May, ATX TV Festival announced more programming that will be at the festival this summer.
The additions include a handful of shows from HBO, including Fantasmas by Julio Torres, which will make its world premiere at the festival.
Season 3 of HBO's drama Industry will premiere, and a screening of Pretty Little Liars Summer School will also air. All 3 of these events will feature Q&As with the creators.
Other panels and screenings are being added as well.
You can see all of the additions at ATX TV Fest's website.
That's all for the news today.
Now, here's Sydney at UT campus.
She had some news to share with her own with the students of UT.
Roll the clip.
Hey Sneak Peekers, it's Mason. Just kidding, April Fools. And in honor of April Fools, we're going to be asking the student body hot topics that are simply not true. Timothy Chalamet and Ben Affleck, there's been some drama going on. Have you heard anything about it?
No, I haven't, but I want to know.
Oh, no, I have not.
No.
Okay. Kylie and Timothy are a thing.
Yeah.
Kylie caught Timothy and Ben together.
Like, in what way?
You know.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's pretty crazy.
No, they weren't.
Is this fake?
I feel like this is no. I'm actually shocked because I'm a Timothy Chalamet fan. So
Whose team are you on? Kylie or Timmy?
I mean, I'm so loyal to Timmy. You know.
Even though he
but-
cheated?
Well, no.
Kylie Jenner, because, I mean, she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I can't be cheating. But my man Timothy would never.
I don't think I like Ben Affleck, but I don't like
I
Kylie
don't
Jenner
know.
either.
Every time I hear Ben Affleck, I just think of like that duck that does insurance. So
Okay.
that's as much as I know about it.
Zendaya and Tom Holland.
Yes.
There are rumors that they are on the rocks. There are
On the
rumors that they're on the rocks, like breaking
Wait,
up.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
But I thought they got married and she's pregnant.
No, like allegedly, like the rumor is that they have broken up at this time.
I don't know, I'm pretty sad. That was a pretty big ship for me.
Okay.
This is not real.
is real. They just broke up.
No, they did not. This is like April Fools or something.
What? I love them.
Is this how I'm finding out? I don't know.
My heart is shattered.
Weren't they just in a movie together?
I thought. Are you talking about Dune? Yeah. The twist. Tom on Zendaya. He broke up with her.
Okay, I don't believe that.
I don't
did.
believe that either.
No way. I think Zendaya would be the one to dump his.
Okay, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They're dating right now.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Taylor was caught with Jason Kelce last night.
Doing what? Uh-oh.
They were.
His brother.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a very suggestive images.
What? No, I don't believe Taylor would do that. But she did cheat on Calvin Harris, so maybe.
I don't care for her personally.
I feel like that's so fake because he seems like a family man.
I'm Team Taylor.
We're pro women cheating, but anti men cheating.
Yes, yes.
And to make it worse, she was wearing a Chiefs shirt.
Oh, Taylor Swift was? She was wearing Travis's number while hooking up with the other Kelsey
That's
brother.
hilarious.
You know how Disney has a college program? They're in talks about buying the campus, the University of Texas.
Oh my god. Wow.
No, I don't want that.
You're anti-Disney buying it?
I'm anti-Disney buying it.
Well, the Disney college program is a scam.
How does that make you feel?
Stupid. That would be terrible.
Definitely not real.
Like a bunch of Disney adults walking around.
What if I told you they're in a meeting right now?
Oh, I don't know.
Like
On campus.
like with Jay Hartzell?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to Jay Hartzell?
Yeah, she's lying. That's the meeting. No, that's the meeting we're going to right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, I also
I'm
was
Mickey
talking
Mouse.
to Timothy Chalamet like last night. Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, I mean, are we gonna get like some of the free food, like the churros that they have?
I'll do you one better. They're changing the tower to a castle.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Fireworks and all.
Every night?
Every night.
Wow.
Tinkerbell is gonna fly from the tower.
Oh my god.
That tower, you might want to say bye to it.
Yes.
Are you in the reconstruction plans
Well, we were with
Of the
Zendaya in the
Disney Plus
hospital.
program?
of the UT Tower?
Yes, the mouse ears.
No,
What? They changed
castle.
They're doing the castle.
Oh.
You didn't hear
Castle.
it? For which princess? Like a Cinderella castle? Or are
No,
we
like
talking
the castle.
Okay, and these were all April Fools. These were not true. All these headlines were made up.
It's not April 1st.
This will air on April.
Okay.
These were all April Fools.
Oh.
Headlines are all fake.
I was like, what the heck? How have I like not heard about this?
Thank you so
Okay.
much. You've been pranked.
Oh my gosh.
Guys,
It's-
this is a real April Fool's.
Yeah, it's not even April. It's not even April.
Hey Emily, have you been watching the new season of Abbott Elementary?
Of course. Have you not been? You must be living under a rock. I mean, this is the season where we finally learn how Janine manages to stay so chipper.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, let's just say the episode is titled Smoking.
What? Maybe I do need to catch up.
Absolutely, but don't just take it from me. Here's Sydney and AK with their thoughts on the new season so far.
Take it away, y'all.
Hi, sneak peekers. Abbott Elementary, the hit ABC sitcom, returned on February 7th, 2024. Today, we're going to give you our thoughts of the new season.
The show returns with a shorter season as a result of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes from this past summer. To make their return, Abbott Elementary introduced a new storyline for the camera crew, saying they were robbed in downtown Philly and had to raise the money for new equipment to come back.
The season is now in full swing with special guests, comedic cold opens, and heartwarming lessons from our favorite teachers. So far, I have been absolutely loving season 3. Now that we have 2 seasons behind us, we know our ensemble group of teachers inside and out, allowing for us as an audience to explore more of their stories. This season, we have been able to move beyond just the school walls and out into their personal lives even further.
Like Sydney, I've been absolutely obsessed with the return of Abbott for season 3. I binged the first 2 seasons, so it's the first season that I'm getting to watch live weekly, and it truly feels like hanging out with my friends every week. These off weeks, though, are driving me crazy. I can't stand not seeing the gang on a regular basis, but I am grateful that it is allowing the shortened season to last a little bit longer.
At some points, I have found some of the storylines to be a bit unconnected, each episode not flowing into the next as naturally as before. However, as we get to know these characters more intimately, I don't think we really need to rely on these arcing plots as much. One recent plotline I have been enjoying is Melissa and Jacob's roommate setup, and I am excited to see how the two continue to become best friends.
Something that I've always loved about Abbott is the ability of the show to uplift a wide range of voices and to celebrate each character for exactly who they are. The ensemble is incredibly strong, and as we make it further and further into the show, I am only more and more impressed with the pairings and their care for one another. Specifically within the season 3 episode Breakup, where we saw Ava rally behind Barbara after she was overlooked by her church choir. Seeing Ava take the time to fight for Barb and listen to her beliefs was the perfect dose of the heartfelt core that makes this show so special.
My favorite episode so far this season has been smoking. After a student is caught smoking, the staff come together to revamp the outdated drug policy, while Janine tries to prep the new substitute, you might see her from TikTok, for her class, but finds it challenging to give up her former role. What I loved about this episode was how together all the cast felt. The whole episode, you see them riffing off one another, the comedy coming from them knowing each other so well as an ensemble. Plus, Jacob jumping into the trash can for his vape will never not crack me up.
I think about that scene all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if you know me, you know that I may or may not have originally started the show due to a flood of Gregory and Janine edits on my For You page. And let's just say that the slow burn is slow burning this season. At the end of season 2, we watched Gregory and Janine finally admit their feelings for one another, only for Janine to take a step back in order to finally be selfish for once. I personally was gutted, but I was proud of our girl. But when season 3 opened, it was clear that a lot more awkward moments had passed between the two. In the season 3 premiere, we find out that Ava has secret cameras set up in Gregory's room, and she shows us footage of Janine asking Gregory to finally start something between them. But he says that he had closed the door on the idea. Watching the two try to return to normal has been killing me. And each season 3 moment between the pair has me going absolutely crazy. When the slow burn finally actually slow burns, it's gonna be over for us all. I truly believe that they have the capability of becoming the best sitcom couple of all time.
I have to agree, and I have also loved getting to see Janine advance her career at the district. However, I have missed her at Abbott. A lot of the comedy comes from the characters interacting with one another, and with Quinta missing, I have felt a hole in the cast. While Janine visits the school frequently enough, I would just love to see again the day-to-day work interaction she had with the rest of the cast.
Yeah, with that all being said, I am slightly Janine and Gregory deprived this season. Like Sydney mentioned, there's a massive hole at Abbott while Janine serves her year at the district. Although I love how it challenges her character to grow and stand for what she believes in, I am bummed that she isn't always at the school with the rest of the squad. I will be relieved when season 4 comes around and our girl is back where she not only belongs, but truly thrives.
There have been insane guests this season. I love seeing Keegan-Michael Key on the show. I have been a longtime fan of his comedy, and seeing him in the role of superintendent was amazing. It took me back to the Key and Peele sketch A.A. Ron, and I love seeing him back in this academic setting, even if it was for budget cuts. I also must add, Karan Soni was the perfect sneaky link for Jacob, and I love seeing them interact with one another. Also, Bradley Cooper, come on.
Just insane. Overall, season 3 has made me just so incredibly happy, and my only complaint about this season is that it's wrapping up in a few weeks. What am I gonna do without seeing my besties every week? Guess I gotta return to my fan edits and maybe rewatch a season or 2.
So far, I have to give this season an 8.5 out of 10.
And for me, I give season 3 an 8 out of 10 too.
What do you think? If you've been watching Abbott Elementary, let us know your thoughts on our socials at Sneak Peek TV. Now, back to the hosts.
Thanks, Sydney and AK. It sounds like I need to catch up before the show returns next week.
Speaking of catching up, did you get a chance to listen to the new Beyonce album?
Emily, I don't really think we cover music on this show.
Well, when I listened to it, I felt like I was transported to the countryside. Isn't it so cool how music can do that?
Yeah, if only music could literally transport you. I would save so much money on gas.
That sure sounds a lot like the premise to The Greatest Hits, the new sci-fi rom-com starring Lucy Boynton and Justin H. Min. Nolan spoke to them both at South by Southwest along with the rest of the cast and crew.
Here's that interview now. Take it away, Nolan.
Can I ask you a weird question?
Yeah, weird away.
If something happened to you, and I could stop it, but it would mean we would never meet, would you want me to?
What?
First question I have for you is, could you describe your character to us? David is someone who's experiencing grief. He's just lost his parents, which is why he ends up in a grief group, which is where he meets the Harriet character. And they sort of connect over their shared grief of people in their lives and sort of start on a wild adventure as Harriet has this amazing supernatural phenomenon where she can time travel back in time with music.
So my character is Morris Martin, and he's a DJ who helps Lucy Boynton's character get through a very grievous time in her life. And through music, she kind of finds her way back to herself.
What inspired you to write this? It deals a lot with tragedy, but also elements of unique sci-fi. What made you write that?
Well, I was living in Austin in 2008, and I'd read this book called Musicophilia by Oliver Sacks, which is about music and the brain and how they interact and things like musical hallucinations. And then I would go hang out in Waterloo and flip through records, and I just thought about how songs can be time machines, that music can be a time machine. So that was sort of the beginning of the idea, or the kernel of what this movie became. So
What attached you to this project? Because that is such a dark character. What made you have to take that?
I think it's a dark character, but it's also very true to life. I mean, I think we all lose people and loved ones in our lives, and what happens as a result of that and how we move on from that, I think, is really important to reflect. And so for me, when I first read the script, I was experiencing my own loss in my own life. So in a way, it allowed me to heal as well.
Speaking of the music, is there a certain vibe you tried to go with when conducting this soundtrack? Is there any sort of feeling you wanted to make sure it got emulated?
I mean, I think, something that felt that it could be whole on a double LP, which is what we did, but also things that reflected each of the characters, songs that help tell the story lyrically as well. I think we did a lot with sound design and score interacting with the songs themselves, so they became part of the texture of the movie. So, doing as much as we could to make it all the songs feel part of the narrative.
This is your second time working with David. Was it easy to go into that chemistry when you already have a relationship with him?
It was, and it was such a gift, I think, to these characters' dynamics specifically, because it's picking up where we left off. I know how he works, he knows how I work, and it was so cohesive, and you felt so safe with that person, but it's also just, it's just really fun. You kind of skip the chapter of tentatively learning each other, and you dive right in, and especially with Corin Sweat, he's just dynamite to work with.
You're in a little bit of a love triangle throughout this. Is there anything that went into your performance where you tried to become the fan favorite, where people thought, I have to go with Justin?
That's a really interesting question. No, I feel like if I were too busy thinking about trying to be the fan favorite, I would get too in my head. I think I just try to be authentic and true to what was written. And I think that's one of the beauties of the script, is that there's no real heroes or villains, and you really feel for each of the characters.
Is there a specific scene that you're really wanting us to see, to appreciate, that you've did?
Oh my gosh, I think the scene that we filmed on the rooftop, it just is so vivid in my memory. We were on a rooftop in a large building in Los Angeles, and we were able to oversee the entire city. We all had these light up headphones on, and it was like the most beautiful LA night.
The whole movie is slapping. Whole movie eats. Y'all need to eat it up. Don't leave no crumbs on that plate.
One last question. We have a lot of people at UT who are trying to get into directing. Is there any advice you would give them to get into a spot where you are now?
Just keep writing, keep shooting, make as much as you can. I think make as many shorts as you can, write as many scripts as you can, and, just keep going.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I would say if you're really passionate about it, you got to put in the work, put in the hours. But I think it's such a worthy and worthwhile pursuit.
Okay. Any advice? Auditioning and working, two different things. Master the audition process, then you can figure out how to work after you work. I literally didn't even know what a call sheet was or how to read a call sheet until halfway through Daybreak. So just keep on doing you and never focus on the result of an audition. Just forget it ever happened.
That's the last question I had. Thank you so much.
Ladies, sneak peekers, it's the final segment of the night. Emily B., Gavin, and Trinity are here to talk about the Bachelor Finale. They'll discuss Joey's final decision and maybe even reveal who they think should have taken home the final rose. Whenever you're ready, Bachelor Nation.
All right. Hey, sneak peekers. I'm Gavin.
I'm Trinity. I'm Emily.
And we are here to discuss the best and biggest event in the history of live television. Of course, I'm talking about the season 28 finale of The Bachelor, where we saw Joey's final decision. I guess just as a recap and a spoiler warning for the season, we left off with Joey choosing Kelsey A as his bride. He proposed, she said yes, and they went off happily ever after. Yeah, I guess starting off, what were your initial reactions?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, like, in the couple episodes leading up to the finale that it was Kelsey, but I feel like in those few episodes it was like, okay, like, he's gonna pick her. But earlier in the season, I think I said maybe on here, I was like, there's no world that it's not Maria and Daisy at the end.
Yeah.
So, like, I was very, like, sure of that, and then towards the end I was kind of like, okay, like, he really likes her. So I wasn't, like, shocked in the episode, but shocked, like, I wouldn't have picked her at the beginning, you know?
Yeah, I was the same way. Like, I, like, from the start, I was like, I really like Daisy, and I really, like, see her, like, being the one for him, because, like, how Joey looks at Daisy was, like, it was just, you know, it was meant to be, but I also really do, like, love Kelsey A, and I really come to, like, really love her throughout the season, so, I mean, it was kind of, like, a tough pick for me, like, choosing between either Daisy or Kelsey at the end, but, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was kind of in the same boat where it kind of came out of nowhere, but at the same time, I want to say around the time maybe they were in, like, Canada, like Montreal, I think was when it really started to shift in my mind. But by the time Hometowns came around, I was like, he's picking Kelsey A. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that was going to be who he chose. But I don't know. It was an interesting finale, I guess. If we want to talk about kind of the big thing that happened, which was Kelsey and Daisy's kind of story throughout the episode.
Y'all, that shot when they, like, show them both in the car and then they're, like, sitting together holding hands. Yeah. Like, that's one of the best moments in a Bachelor finale I've seen in forever. Like, everyone was like,
yeah.
It was perfect.
Like, even the people in the audience were like, oh,
yeah,
like, they're like shocked.
Well, because that makes it look like maybe both of them are going to leave, and I think that was, like, the shock factor of everything.
Yeah. Well, I do think, and the one thing that I had a qualm with as far as the finale was that they spent so much of it hyping up like this is the craziest thing that's ever happened, like this has never happened before in the history of The Bachelor. And I remember when it happened, I was like, oh, that's sweet, but, like, is that what they're talking about? Like,
well, and they do that, like, they're like,
of course,
the craziest season ever, and you're like, okay, Jesse, like,
all right, ton it down.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was, like, overhyped, but, like, when have they not, like, been
That's
like,
fair.
this is the craziest ending ever.
See, this was the first one I've seen, and so I was fully in. I was like, okay, Jesse, like, you're gonna show me a spectacle here.
Right.
But I guess next question would be, was there anyone that you wish had gotten farther, or anyone that you wish you saw kind of in that final stretch?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought Maria was gonna go further.
Yeah.
I know we got her, like, hometown, so she, like, kind of was, like, there for a while. But I thought she was gonna maybe be final
I did too.
3 or 2. Like,
Me
I
too.
thought she was gonna go a little further. I've been saying all season that my favorite one is Lauren. She's, like, the two sisters. She's the older one. She was, like, the funniest person I feel like I've ever seen on this show. And I know she left, like, so early, but I would like to see more of her, so I'm really gunning for her to be on Paradise, because she's, like, I wish she went further just because she's hilarious.
I feel like she could have gone a lot further too. I mean, obviously she left for very valid reasons, with, like, her mother, but
yeah, no, totally makes sense. I don't think her and Joey were really going anywhere, but she is so funny that, like, I just wanted to watch her longer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. I really did want Maria to be, like, the final, like, 3 at least. Maybe not, like, the final 2, but I for sure, like, final 3. Because I don't know, like, I didn't really see, like, Joey and Rachel, like, being compatible and stuff, so I really wanted Maria to be, like, final 3. But yeah, Maria.
I really wanted more Kelsey T. I really liked Kelsey T. I liked her a lot, and I liked oh my gosh, what was the blonde girl that she got eliminated, like, or she went home pretty early, but she was, like, one of the few at the very beginning who came in and was kind of, like, no nonsense, like, I wish I remember her name, but
I did like Kelsey T also, and she posted recently that she actually started working on the show.
Oh.
Like, she worked, like, she was, like, a stand-in for Charity last season, like, working behind the scenes on the show.
That's so
Isn't
interesting.
that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like that is most of the time that we have, but I guess my last question to you is, imagine it's you in Kelsey A's shoes. Joey kneels down on one ring and he pops the ring. Are you saying yes?
I mean, wouldn't you?
Of course.
yeah,
I just
I would
needed us all to get on the same page on air, of
Joey
course.
is
We
the
love
people's
Joey.
princess. He
Yeah.
is everything.
And I think that's a wonderful note to end off on. We love you, Sneak Peekers. We love you, Joey. Shout out Bachelor Nation. And have a wonderful night, America.
And Canada.
And Canada.